by professors and other faculty at Ontario colleges has moved into the political arena. After 5 weeks, the province's Liberal government is trying to table back-to-work legislation, but it's not going as smoothly as they'd like. CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick is standing by live at the Ontario legislature. What's the latest from there, Megan?
Well, so Hannah, MPPs will be making their way back here in just a few hours on a day they're not normally here. They don't usually sit on Fridays, but this will be a special sitting to deal with this back-to-work legislation. Around 3 p.m., we're expecting the bill to be tabled. As you mentioned, the Liberals tried to table it last night around 6 p.m. That was about an hour after the deadline passed that Premier Wynne had imposed on the two parties in the dispute. They couldn't come to an agreement, so she came forward with the legislation, asked all parties to give consent to table it and pass it right away, and the NDP denied that request. So that's why they're back here today. And the NDP is saying that they're not on board with fast-tracking this bill, that they want to stand up for workers' rights and stand up for unions. Here's what Andrea Horvath, NDP leader, said about that this morning.
You know, we're not prepared to just fast-track anti-worker legislation in the province of Ontario. That's irresponsible. And as the only party that stands up for organised labour in this province consistently, we have some due diligence that we have to undertake.
Now, Suhana, after they table the bill, the Liberals will likely ask for unanimous consent again to pass it immediately and just get it done right away. The NDP, again, are expected to deny that request to force it to go to a debate. Again, the Liberals can ask for unanimous consent to start debate right away. The NDP aren't likely to grant that, which means MPPs will be coming back here tomorrow and spending their Saturday at Queen's Park, and they'll start debate then. This could stretch in until Sunday when the final vote could be had, but all parties are saying they do expect the bill to be passed by Sunday. The Liberals have a majority. They don't need the NDP to pass the bill. They just need the NDP to help move it along a bit faster.
And that's the political aspect. Bring me up to speed on what the two sides in this strike are saying.
Right. Well, it has been a very bitter dispute, really, between the two sides. The College Employer Council, they're the group that represents the 24 colleges. They're okay with the back-to-work legislation. They put out a statement last night saying they are in support of it. They put the blame on OPSU, that's the union representing the workers, for everything getting to this point, saying the union was making unreasonable demands yesterday at the table. Flip side, the union placing blame on the employers for getting to this point. The union obviously not very happy with being forced back to work, but they do say that they're happy students will get back in the classroom. What it means for the contract now, Suhana, is that part of this back-to-work legislation will be forcing the two sides to go into binding arbitration, so their contract dispute will be settled that way. As for students, well, you can imagine the frustration and mixed emotions they have. They'll be happy that the strike is over, but of course a lot of anxiety about how to cram in the rest of the semester just into a few weeks. So there's a lot of questions ahead about that timeline for them.
We'll be watching. Thank you, Megan. CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick in Toronto.